welcome everyone to Corner Talk episode 1. We will be talking about modding today. I'm JoshesCorner. I am the host. Next to me is Relentless Defender, and we have Wolfskin on the other side of the screen.
Thanks for inviting me, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here on the first ever episode. Great to have you. Even though it was kind of all of us last minute running around trying to get this put together in less than 4 days.
That was fun.
That's the fun part of it, right? Just throw a whole bunch of stuff together.
Alright, so we're going to start off with going around the tables, talking about what we've played this week, what we've watched, anything like that. If you guys see me looking over this way, just know I'm looking at my not-so-script. My outline. I didn't write a script, guys, I promise. It's my outline, so don't worry about that.
A revised outline.
Yeah, revised. How many times did we almost revise it yesterday? Really?
Yeah.
Like 5 times yesterday?
I'm sure there'll be tons of revisions in the future.
Oh, God. So we'll start off going around introducing us. We kind of did a quick introduction there. Like I said, I'm the host. This is my channel, I guess. I don't want it to be. I want it to be more of a community channel, where it's headed. Lately this week, I've been playing Fallout 4 and a little bit of Skyrim as we've been modding it, which we'll all hear about later on in a little bit. Relentless, what have you done this week or watched or?
I've been playing Skyrim. I've played some Fallout 4 last weekend, and then I've also been playing some Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 with some mods, messing around with that, just having a little bit of fun. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. What about you, Wolf?
Wolfskin 75. I've been playing Fallout New Vegas, in fact. I finally got that working. There was a problem with the loader, and I had to go through a whole bunch of technical support and got that playing. As a Fallout fan, I was, when I told someone I had never played New Vegas, people went ballistic. Like, what is wrong with you, and how can you call yourself a Fallout fan? Not have played New Vegas. So I'm doing that. I'm modding that as well as Fallout, as well as Skyrim Special Edition.
So, quick question. With the New Vegas thing, are you playing it vanilla first go through, or are you just playing it with mods first go through?
I played Fallout 4 vanilla. I'm going to try to do New Vegas vanilla, but it's really ugly.
I feel you on that one. Coming from like Fallout 4 modded and all that, it is.
Yeah. And again, it has nothing to do with the story. Obviously, it's one of the best. People say it's one of the best written ones and has the best storyline. But the Fallout 3, I guess, Oblivion type graphics, just they're really hard to choke down after playing Fallout 4.
They are.
Vanilla, even. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, and I will agree with a lot of people who are fanboys, I guess, of it, or fangirls, depending on which way you want to look at it. It is one of the better stories. It's not, oh, my dad or, oh, my son is gone, let's go find him. The story was made by a lot of the people who did the original Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So they took care of it. They knew what they wanted to do. They took care of the story, and it is really good. And
I also still haven't played it, so I started at Fallout 4. So
yeah,
okay, well,
we need to get him into it. So
I'm not the only one. Yeah, I actually played Fallout 1 and 2 when they were released when I was in college. So that's how old I am.
It's okay. I played about 20 minutes of each and couldn't get past the asymmetric. So.
No, it was when it first came out. People were just like there was a big hole in their head because their brains have just blown out the back of their heads. It was one of the fantastic things, and again, I didn't. A lot of life things happened, and I come on the end of Fallout 4, and I'm going back to New Vegas and stuff like that. It's still one of the best, one of the top 5, I think. I guess genres or I guess schools of games that are out there still that I believe. But
the asymmetric side? Oh no!
Well, no, just the games in general. Like I guess the word is now IP.
So
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, going off tangent off of the whole outline that I have. What is one thing from the original 2 Fallout games that you wish? Because I know there's not a lot that you could really bring over to the 3D world, but there are some things in there that I wish that they did bring. Do you have any one particular thing that you wish that they would bring from the original 2 into the newer?
I think the controls, and this is maybe just me, but I think the controls are a little bit more fine with the isometric. So when you wanted to go touch a box and you pointed your arrow to the box, you walked up to the box, and exploring a 3D space, maybe not get, like maybe something's in front of you and you see the box and you're not able to touch it. The fact that you can just hit an arrow and it walks you there. I really like that part of it. Compared to the 3D environment. Again, just because the people who, the Black Isle, Obsidian, those people who wrote the stories, I think playing as much as New Vegas as I did, I can really tell that that's the same kind of storytelling they want to do. So that's in New Vegas. If they could bring that storytelling to Fallout 4, like bring that all the way. And again, we'll talk about story when you talk to me. Like that's what I'm concerned about, the story. So that's one of the technical aspects, and then one of the main aspects is the storytelling ability that Bethesda hasn't been able to kind of ratchet up to that level yet.
No, and
so it's in VR as well. I'm sorry, I'm paying attention to the chat.
Yeah,
oh.
Yeah, it is. It's for PC, which is one of the games I want to get whenever we do get the VR headset and the area for it. We are going to be getting it, and I'm going to have you play it in VR because I've played Borderlands, Skyrim, both in VR, and they are amazing. But I want an actual true setup to play Fallout VR.
Right.
Because
which my setup is for VR. I just don't do VR. But
no, one of the things I wish that they would bring from the original, I think it's in the second one as well, to the new one, is in VATS, you were actually able to shoot the characters in the dick.
That's awesome.
What a marvelous age we live in.
I wish we had that back. I want some Sniper Elite action going on with the X-ray.
Oh man, yeah. I love that X-ray stuff in that game. That's so great.
Here I thought the answer was going to be, like very well thought. You're like, no, I want to shoot him in the crotch.
Hey, what can I say? I'm a simple man, simple taste.
Simple man, simple taste.
All right, so let's get to the meat of this all. Mods.
Okay.
As we said at the beginning, most of us, besides me, have really been modding it. I've been playing what's been modded because
He gets to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Pretty much. I'm afraid that I'm going to fuck something up royally, so...
Which is really easy to do, so...
It is.
So, let's start off with Wolf. Your first one is Quit Complaining Lydia.
Okay.
Yes. So, I actually played Skyrim Special Edition before Fallout 4. Again, when I played it, everyone was hyping it up, and I really thought it was great till I got to meet Lydia. Not only was the textures, she was terribly ugly. Again, I'm not judging her for who she is. It just whoever was the developer did a bad job.
I agree with that. She is not pleasant to look at all.
No, not at all. And the NPCs aren't, for the most part. But anyways, one of the things that I'm supposed to be like, okay. I'm sorry?
No, I said it'd help if I can get my transitions right. I'm already screwing up, and we're already like 5 minutes in.
That's fine. It's
we're good.
The first
go ahead.
We're good.
Remember, it's all about the story. So, one of the things, I'm trying to fight dragons, I'm trying to figure out this huge puzzle, and all I have is this assistant whining, just constantly, like, I'm bad about your parents, And I was like, how can we get this to stop? Like, this is annoying. Like, this cannot possibly, like, I have to have a bad copy of this. This cannot have been meant to happen. So, this mod is actually how I got into modding. Is I was asking around, how do we stop her? How do we shut her up? That was the forum post I made. Like, how do we shut up Lydia? And they said, we can add a mod. I'm like, mod? And the last mod that I had been aware of was Knights of the Old Republic, where you could just color the clothes different. Like, you just take the texture, I guess, and do a paint and put it back in.
Just like
more
a
aesthetic.
Basic aesthetic mods.
Yeah, but this was actually, blew my mind. Like, we were affecting behavior, and it worked. And I was like, whoa! So then I found MRX, and I found Gopher, and that was the end of the single-digit mods.
MXR, right? Or
MX, what did I say?
MRX.
Yes, MXR, yes. I found two videos, a video from Gopher and a video from him, and that was the end of me doing anything simply. So,
yep.
Gopher,
especially Gopher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I started modding Skyrim, Gopher was my go-to, for sure.
He was definitely the easiest. He was, like, technically wise, he was the easiest to explain things and understand what he had done. MXR was definitely the sizzle. he definitely pointed out mods that I did not have that I wanted. So, this is how I kind of got into modding, is finding this solution. So that's why I picked this one as number one.
Okay.
Or the first one, yeah.
So, we'll go my turn, I guess.
Yeah, next one.
Mine is Ordinator Perks of Skyrim.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Basically what it does, it takes all the trees and skill trees and keeps what was already there, but expands upon it. I think they said that they added over 400 plus perks to it. I've probably touched the surface with this when I actually played with it.
There's a lot. There's a lot you can do.
Yeah, I got it mainly just for the stealth and archery ones, because those were the ones that I mainly used, that I wanted more to it. It was just one of those kind of off chance I was messing around with on Bethesda.net, because a lot of these mods, you'll see that they have a common theme with me. A lot of them are capable on either Xbox One or PlayStation 4. And that's because the fact that that's where I started my modding. I tried doing it. I didn't have a PC good enough to mod. I don't have, the $3,000 PC that I want to do it. But yeah, that's my number one. It adds over 400 different perks. Just makes life a lot nicer. Makes it look a little bit better too. And yeah, I can't talk.
No, that's good.
That's all right. No, it's a good one.
So,
it's very I think it's definitely a must-have for any playthrough of Skyrim. So.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever seen a list with it not in there as being a must-have mod. So
I actually think, not trying to catch ahead of ourselves, but another mod we're going to talk about later on today, I don't think has it in it.
Oh.
I don't think it does. When I was looking at it earlier, I don't think it's in it. But we'll get to that here in a little bit.
Yeah, well, we can change that. We're good.
So next up, Relentless. Your first pick was Skyrim Unbound.
Yeah. Well, there's several different ones. My decision kind of changed when we were getting this ready, but one of them is Skyrim Unbound. Alternate start. It's kind of like the other alternate start mod. But basically, what's really cool about this one is there's a lot of different. I wish they would actually show the pictures of the things that you can do, but there's so many different alternative starts you can do. Like, you can choose what kind of character you want them to be. They could be an adventurer, a thief, a traveler, all sorts of different things. Or you can literally just click start the game and it'll randomize where you start in the game. So it really helps for like role playing and really like bringing more of an immersive experience to Skyrim, and that's one of the main reasons why I really like that one. So
there was something and this relates to the alternate start, where you figure out what you are or choose what you are. They gave away Morrowind for free for the 25th edition of it. Our 25th anniversary for it, they gave away a copy for free, and I started it. I played it. Again, it's hideous, but
there's no fixing that one
without mods.
No, there's not. There's not.
Can we get... Actually, I wonder, real quick, I wonder if because of it coming out free, if a lot of the mod community is going to go back and try to upgrade it. Because of how free it came.
Oh, that would be great, actually. I would love that.
Because, again, it's considered a great game. It's just really tough to look at.
I can't get in... It's one of those games that I want to go back and play because I've only played 10, 15 minutes maybe of it when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. But I want to go back, but it's the graphics that honestly are stopping me.
Yeah, well, it's free till Sunday, so you might want to choke it down.
I grabbed it. I think I already grabbed it.
Just to say you've played it, and you won't be. Then. Yeah, you won't be laughed out like, oh, you're not really an Elder Scrolls fan. But they ask you a set of questions, right? If you're going with your dad and he asks you to go to the forge, you go to the forge, you do something else, and that determines your skill set, kind of on answering these questions. And they brought that, one of those mods brought that back into Skyrim Special Edition.
Okay.
And it's kind of a set, and it's kind of also in Fallout 3 and 4. So it must be a Bethesda thing that they do.
Yeah, they do.
So not the same questions, but that idea that you answer a bunch of questions and that figures out your personality within your responses.
Mm-hmm. Right. Also, a good thing I wanted to mention about alternate start is, like, for modding purposes, for testing out the game. It's really good for testing the game because you can just go straight into the game. You don't have to go through the long,
that 5-minute
intro. No offense. It's great when you first play Skyrim, but after that, it's annoying.
No,
and I like to skip it.
I agree. I have to agree with the alternate start thing because I just went through and made a new character today, and it was daunting trying to sit there for the entire thing. Just listening, oh, you're a Stormcloak.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
What I wish is
we'll talk about the beginning too. That's another. All right.
I wonder why someone hasn't made a mod to overhaul the beginning of the game. Because that would be great.
There is. There is an overhaul.
Oh, there is. I'll have to check.
Yeah, and it's spectacular. I would recommend you guys finding it and trying it. Once you get everything figured out, try the overhaul. It's opening ending, and it adds a couple important pieces to the story too. A couple cut. I don't know why they cut them, but it makes the beginning then makes more sense.
Okay.
We'll have to check that out.
And it's not as long, and it's not as you still see kind of the important pieces of the story, but they cut down the beginning.
So next up we have, I'm gonna say Aonghus house.
Aonghus house, yes.
I think that's what we agreed upon.
I think that's what we agreed upon, but who knows?
If anybody knows the correct translation, let us know.
Yeah, please pronounce the pronunciation of that one. Okay, so this is one, and this kind of relates to the beginning of the story. So I was playing the story, and I'm like, okay, what's your background? Who are you in the story? And they're like, oh, you don't have a background. You just, you're there. It's kind of like the Dazed and Confused method of storytelling, which I really struggle with this, and I actually made people mad on the forums and stuff like that. This is a piece, when I saw this, I kind of came up with a story. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is my character. My character met the person who owned this house. Citadel. Like, I come in from Citadel, and I'm trying to get back. That's why I'm crossing the border in my story.
Right.
And I knew this person from one of my professions in Skyrim, and I'm trying to get out. And like, hey, this is a real safe place. That's why you go back to Riverwood, because it's right there. It's a beautiful house. It's right between Whiterun and Riverwood. It's right there on the falls. So when you're going around the corner, it's right there. You go there, drop off your stuff, and it's a great kind of nice spot to go and kind of hang out. It's a great player home. The last time I played it, there is a little glitch. I'm not sure if it's fixed yet, but the bridge hangs off the hillside a little bit, so you have to jump.
It's not a Bethesda game without a glitch, right?
Well, it's actually someone's mod, so we can't, as much as we want to blame Bethesda, we can't. But it's a great house, but it also is a storytelling piece in my games, and that's why I include it.
Okay. So we'll go over to me again. Hi. Another one that I chose is another kind of one of those must-haves. I'm going to go off into a tangent during it too about an alternative version of it that I just recently found that I haven't messed with yet, but I'm going to pick it up on console to see how it works because it seemed interesting, and I think it's only console versions have the alternative. But we are talking about Stones of barenziah. I would always screw it up.
Stones of B.
Thank you. Stones of Bear. Stones of Barons.
Baron. It up, so.
We'll call it Baron. Stones of Baron.
It's very helpful.
Basically, all it does in the storyline, there's a lot of these. There's 24. There's 24 of these stones that you have to collect in order for I think it's one of the Daedras for a quest, and all it does is add a quest marker on top of it so you know where to actually find it rather than having to try to search around for it for hours and hours, and it's not like they give you a hint or anything. Now that's where the alternative one that I just found comes in. Is it's a puzzle book. Like I said, I haven't looked into it very much, but it seems like you get a book and I guess there's like riddles or something that will help you find out which cave or where it's located and all that. So it's one of those that I'm going to look at, and we can talk about possibly the next time we do the modding.
Okay.
Bring up modding again for another episode, of course.
Yeah, this is definitely a good mod, especially for people who are lazy like me and don't want to try to find them. I think my first playthrough of Skyrim, I was like, I don't know where these are. I don't want to look for them. Skip it. So that's just me. So this is very helpful for
and then
people who don't want to do that.
Yeah, and there's also another alternative mod to this as well. Another one that also adds the quest markers, but also lets you allow them to be dropped out of your inventory too. So they're not.
Oh, so they're not just piling up in your
inventory.
Exactly.
So they're not constantly in your inventory because we all know how those quest items in inventory go. You always want to get rid of them.
Yeah, they're just horrible to look at.
You know, there's some guy right now, he's going to watch this, and he's foaming at the mouth of our misspelling, of our adding quest markers to these things.
Probably. And
misspellings or mispronunciations.
They can leave it in the comments on YouTube. People do it all the time.
He's like,
how dare you?
Go ahead.
How dare you take vanilla Skyrim and ruin it with all these mods?
Yeah, okay. I'm sure nobody will ever say that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that one guy, that one person. Or you'll get the console people like me going, man, I wish I had these mods. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I used to be. But now I have a PC that can actually run Skyrim, which is great. So.
Alright, so Relentless, we'll take it off to you, and we are going to talk about a follower mod, which is really big, and there has been a lot of alterations to it. And
there's actually quite a few overhauls and mods to the same follower.
Potastic Panda's Recorder. So if you want to take it away.
Yeah, so what's really cool about Recorder is she's just a magnificent follower. She's got a lot of different dialogue that she, when you talk to her, you can talk to her about a lot of different things. And she just does a lot of just really quirky, funny things. While you're going throughout the game, so it makes it real interesting to have her follow you around. It's not just the boring dialogue that you have with like the vanilla followers. So that's what I like about her, and also she's really nice to look at. Come on. Look, if we were to compare her to a picture of Lydia.
Yeah, let's not do that.
and her, who would you much rather look at? I'm sure you'd want to look at Recorder instead of vanilla Lydia. So
I'm trying to find out where it says. I know it says somewhere how much. Here it is. Blah blah blah.
Where is it at? It's somewhere.
Do you guys know the story? Yeah, a bit more backstory. You guys know that?
Yeah, it's right here. And I'll read it off too. As a member of a mysterious academy, Recorder has a mission to observe and keep records of the hero's journey. However, it's not just heroes of a particular world, but but a variety of realities, because she has as she follows you, I know this for a fact, she will bring up other video game characters and all that as well. So no one knows who she is, but she'll talk about Hyrule, Thetis, Gaia,
There you go.
outer space.
Somebody's gonna get mad about
I
that.
know, someone's gonna Gaia. But no, she is from a quote another world, and the whole thing, she won't talk about it either, which is really funny. She'll bring it up, but she won't talk about it.
And she won't actually, if you ask her what her real name is, she will not tell you what her real name is. Which is kind of funny. She's like, I can't tell you. She's like, I won't tell you.
Now, Wolf, I know you have an issue with Recorder, and
Yes.
I know you want to talk
Go
about
ahead,
it.
Wolf.
So
Yeah.
let's hear
You've
it.
got
All
the
right,
floor, buddy.
so it's the great. I'm gonna give her a plug. Then I'll have a detractor. The thing about her is that she reacts to the environment very well. Okay, so if you're on a very high peak and it's cold, she goes, "Oh, I didn't, I didn't bring anything warm to wear." Like, she reacts naturally without you having to do anything. Problem: she will not shut up.
She talks a lot.
She has a lot of lines of dialogue,
700
and she
plus,
goes through them.
actually.
Yeah, she goes through them all, and she just won't. She'll like, she has this cute little and sure, it fills the time, but I had to take her out of my load order. I couldn't deal with it. But again, all the things you said were true. It's just for me, like, I just had those times where I was trying to figure something out, and it was Recorder blabbing in the background. And also she talks to the other vanilla followers too. She'll like talk to them, and they'll respond back to her, which I think is pretty cool too.
But that's what makes what's funny though. What I like is, like, you might be in like battle, and she'll say something just really funny, and you're like in this intense battle, and it's like it's all serious, and then she just cracks jokes while you're in a battle. I just love it.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
But it's not a big problem. It's just I just couldn't take it anymore.
Okay, so
like, I hear
question:
that enough for my wife.
How how many hours did you have her follow you before you ended up getting rid of her? Was it a decent amount? I mean, did you get through most of the dialogue, or was it just like, oh,
No,
you're really annoying from this get-go?
Well, no. What happened was I was trying to find this place on this, and trying to find how to get to, because I fell off the road. I had to get back up the hill, and I was trying to get someplace, and I got someplace completely different. I'm lost. You guys been in Minecraft long enough where I'm lost somewhere and have to get someone to find me. I was lost, and she just kept on talking and kept on making fun of the fact that I was lost.
That's hilarious.
And I was just like, "That's it, you're gone."
Oh, so the truth has come out. You're mad because she was pointing out the fact that you were lost and you didn't like it.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's other things.
Okay.
All right, so...
But good.
No, go ahead.
And also, one of the deal breakers for me, and I don't do this normally a lot, but she called her cybernetic robot to store things. I was like, oh man, we were going so good because she had authentic weapons and stuff like that, and then this robot appeared, and you can store stuff in the robot. And I was like, well, that's it, and I was trying to be as I was young and foolish then, but I was trying to be as non-lore breaking, get close to the edge, but not lore breaking as possible.
Right, and she just kind of broke it with the whole.
Well, I
robot.
guess her lore is lore breaking in itself.
Yeah, because basically she's traveling to all these different realities that she technically doesn't belong to.
Right.
So, pretty much.
And so with that follower mod, we'll jump in. I didn't realize I did this, or I would have messed with the order a little bit. I just realized this just now, but we have another follower mod.
That's okay.
So, do you want to take it away, Wolf? Do you want to introduce it?
Yes. This is my favorite mod of all times. This is Vilja, and I think again someone's there. I mispronounced the name, but this is by Emma, and this is the most wonderfully voiced most well done follower I think I've had the pleasure to play around with. Also, which is a good thing, she adds backstory to your character if you allow her, because she comes from your childhood background, and then you can fill in what that is. So she knew you, and I think that was a fantastic thing to bring, more life to my character. Mm-hmm. Now you don't, since you are not voiced, you don't have to choose that option. But if you want to, you can. And then she'll say, "Oh, I recognized you. We were kids." All these kind of things. That was wonderful to have, because it was, again, you're not a dream, or you're not you're like St. Elsewhere. I'm going to roid something for somebody who hasn't seen St. Elsewhere yet. You're not a fictitious dream that this kid was having in the waiting room. You're a real person. You're a real thing, and this is really happening, and this is really all going on. There are several enhancers for her that you can, patches, she'll talk to kids, just a whole bunch of things. Somebody spent a lot of time on this follow. And the story, her side quest, there's a point where you do a couple things for her, and she's like, "Okay, we'll stop until you get your thing." And then later on down the road is a whole quest of how you meet her parents and all these kind of other things. I won't spoil it for you because it's a really good story.
Okay.
But it's really intense, and it's really well thought out, and I just thought the voicing of it was superb, and it worked for the lore, and it worked, again, for my story. So
I'm going to have to check it out. That sounds very interesting, because I like the point that you add that she has a backstory for you. I mean, that really adds to the immersion, and I've always...
Right.
That's what I'm always looking for in game, is immersion. I want to... I mean, isn't that why we play games, like why we watch movies and TV? It's to escape, right? It's escapism.
Right.
So if any game that can make me escape more or have more of that immersion, then I'm definitely for that, especially mods. So
yeah. Again, this is the one I recommend. I recommend to everybody, and she'll even say, if I'm getting annoying, just use this thing and I'll stop talking. So that solved that problem.
You wish your quarter had that.
You wish your quarter had that, huh?
Yeah. Oh my God.
You wish she had a mute button.
So, we'll move on to the next one, which is mine. I don't say this is a must-have when it comes to playing on consoles, but it is one up there that I would recommend to anyone who said, "Hey, is there a console mod for Skyrim that you would recommend?" And that is GTO's Whiterun Extreme for both PS4 and Xbox One, not 360. Jeez.
There may be a 360.
No, there's not, because it's special edition didn't come out for 360. So.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Basically all it is an overhaul of Whiterun itself, and it adds a lot more scenery, greenery, trees, and all that, where it used to be barren. If I could have found a before and after photo, I would have. Or if I had time to record something, I would have, just to show it.
If you want something that kind of looks similar to what he's talking about, look up a video on the Great Whiterun Forest. That kind of will give you kind of an idea. Or any Whiterun overhaul will kind of give you the idea of what this mod does. Basically.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of overhaul mods for console itself, especially with PS4 having the whole we don't want outside files being brought in stuff that I don't want to go into. It ticked me off, because we aren't going to go into that. That could be for later discussion.
Well, you mean kind of like I guess from basically like Bethesda's cool with modding, right? They're cool with people modding their game, but
PS4
Sony
didn't.
Console, companies don't want it to be modded. It's ridiculous.
Oh, no. Microsoft was okay with it. Microsoft said, go for it, as long as there's no 18+ mods. We're fine.
See, and here's the thing, and I'm going to speak out about that.
Yeah, we can go on a little tangent. We have some time.
That's fine.
I understand the general audience that they're going for. right? And I understand that they have concerns about that. I do, however, and I won't be draggle this out, but there should be a way for people of age. I don't even know what to say. There should be a way to do that, but I understand they don't want to expose the general audience to that.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all that I got.
Well, it's more Bethesda net at that point. If we're going into that, it's more Bethesda didn't want that stuff on their website.
Got it.
Because most of your mods for a console comes from the actual Bethesda.net website, and it was Bethesda who said, "Hey, we don't want this on there. We don't want all these mods out there because of how it is. If you want it, you're gonna have to kind of get a PC and go somewhere else for those."
Got it. Yeah, we'll say that for later day. How's that?
So, I think the final one that we have for Skyrim modding, for this big modding topic, is not actually a mod, but a series of mods.
Based
all in one. A big overhaul project, and I'll let you take it away.
All right, so this is I've been working on this actually for like the last probably 3 or 4 days. It's called the Skyrim Special Edition Beautification project. There is also one for Legendary Skyrim, as you can see. But it's just a major overhaul.
Wrong one.
The person shows basically goes down a whole entire list, shows you all the mods that they use, how to implement them, and even also does like texture optimization mods, like themselves, the person that created this page, to go along with those mods. I've been working on it. I'm not quite finished with it yet, but right now I'm at about 408 mods, and Skyrim is running beautifully with no hiccups, no issues, no nothing.
So for people who see the broadcast and this screen it's a quick before and after. So this is the before and this is the after you get everything.
Right. The EMB and everything downloaded. And the biggest thing is the EMB. Yeah. That's what really makes the difference. Because if you look, because even in the before like even because these are obviously PC before and after pictures, it looks like.
Right.
So it looks pretty good. I mean, even for on PC, just vanilla. But I mean, once you get that EMB and all these other mods, I mean, you can really tell what can be done with mods, basically, for Skyrim. You can basically make it look like a new game.
You mentioned something, Relentless. How many mods that you're running right now?
I'm running currently now. I'm at 408 mods.
408. Okay. It's important to understand that the people who are doing this for the first time, there is a hard limit on mods. Bethesda has set a hard limit at 255. There are ways around that, which you will learn, but 255 is a max the game will recognize.
Yeah.
But in the list, and again, I'm sorry, I didn't want to break your thing, but in the list, he tells you ways to get around that and do different things.
There's tweaks and fixes, and there's ways that there's files that he has that basically compresses it to where you can run quite a few mods at once and very smoothly. One of the things that I've seen that nobody else has shown is basically going in and changing the ini files does a lot for helping Skyrim run all of these mods. So that's one of the tweaks. Can you show the tweak page real quick?
Yeah. Let me get to it and then I'll...
That's right there. So like he says right here, driver settings, ini files, load order, finis, and then if you kind of just scroll down. So he goes through all the different tweaks that you need to do before you even start doing anything. And then he also will tell you, like right here, it says add this only if you have a multi-core CPU, which I do. So I'm able to run quite a few mods. But if you don't have a multi-core CPU, then don't do it, because everything this person does is in red. Is like, you better pay attention or you're going to screw your game up. So but like I've said, Josh here, he's played it. I've played it, and we're very, very impressed with what we have so far.
I mean, there were today, as I was playing today, I made my character, or made a new character, and there were some hiccups with some things, but I mean, like one of them was at the very beginning, we have a mod that brings it out in the third person at the very beginning, and so as soon as you get off the cart, you go straight into third person. Well, there was an issue where as my character was walking up to get their head chopped off, her arms went inside her body.
Yes, I've seen that before.
And so,
they'll do this, like they'll go. Let's say they'll bend like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like very, very violently.
Something creepy. Something you would see in a horror movie.
That's a restart.
Yeah. See, and what's funny? So he restarted. I would put in the mods because the guy will also tell you every girl, whatever, they'll tell you that after each section that you do, always test the game to make sure it works.
Yeah, that's.
And so what I've been doing is just going. I have a save that is a test save basically, where I'm testing all these mods. So I didn't actually start a new character, so I never ran into that issue because I never started new.
Got it.
So, and I might not run into that issue because I'll probably, like I said, Skyrim Unbound. I'll probably install that because I just can't stand the beginning part of the game. I just want to skip.
Understood.
So,
Understood.
Go ahead.
Well, I was saying I was gonna.
Actually,
jump in there and say,
you want to
like,
go on your piece, actually? Your experience?
Yeah,
because his experience has been a little different.
Okay, so that's the perfect transition into the next segment, which is experience for everyone in both this. Relentless here has had so far
it's been a great experience.
I think we're halfway through the list, and he so far has had a great experience with it. I mean, we've been up 10 o'clock at night every night trying to download as much as we can. But then you have Wolf here, on the other hand, who I'll let you take that away.
I would consider myself maybe not like an advanced expert user, but not a beginner. I guess this will prove me wrong, right? But so I was trying to follow the same list, and as I was going through the list, navigation is not it's not programmed for user interface. It's not a clean user interface. It's really kind of confusing, at least for me, where the parts are. So I was reading through it and reading some parts, and I'm like, getting really upset. And like you're saying, they squeeze, they condense. So it's called a merge, where you take a whole bunch of files that are kind of the same and don't replicate each other, and squish them down into one file. So like maybe like 10 files or one. So you've removed like 9 spaces for other mods. When I was looking through the mod list, I didn't know. There was a page that explained to you how to merge them all. Well, I didn't see that. I just saw merge ESPs on the list. And I was like, and of course, you know, I'm like I was saying, my passion bubble kind of gets up to the top, and I respond quicker than I think. So, I was like, it was trash, you know. But also, one of the things that I haven't learned yet is probably the first thing I should have learned, but I haven't learned yet, is the cleaning part. And I was going to go to Relentless. He was going to kind of show me that. Excuse me. One of the programs you have to download is Xedit. So the X is for whatever game you're using. Okay. The guy who developing this, again, for free, he has a Patreon, so you can go support him. I think I'm going to throw him a little cash. He has an auto-clean feature, which I think Relentless was unaware of, or the guy who made this list is unaware of. So things are going off and beeping, and OK buttons are popping up. And I don't know what's going on. I was like, I'm trying to follow the instructions. But I'm better now. I've calmed down.
To add to that, so basically when I first started modding Skyrim, which was probably about 6 months ago, that feature was not available. So it's actually quite a new feature, because actually what you had to do is you had to go in and manually clean them, which was even harder and more annoying, trust me. And so having that auto clean feature was very very helpful. And actually, all you have to do is just change the. You have to change some settings in the shortcut for the program, and it's very easy. And I will help you with it later on.
Well, from what I go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I got you. I'll help you out. We'll get you straight away.
Watching some of the videos for the instructional how to clean a master file, to be able to do this automatically apparently is a significant step ahead in technology.
Oh yeah.
So
it's very helpful because, like I said, having to do it manually is not fun, and if you screw one thing up while you're cleaning, it's over. The game won't run. So you really have to be really careful. So having that auto feature definitely has helped a lot of people, and I agree with you. I'll probably also go to that guy's Patreon and support him as well, because that feature is so helpful. So.
And I just looked it up too. An Ordinator the perks mod that we did talk about earlier is not on that list like I thought it was. So.
Well, let's take one of the useless followers off and put that on.
Right?
I mean, the person that did the list, they're like, you don't have to do all these mods. You don't have to do these mods if you don't want to.
Okay.
But
that's just his beautification.
It's just his project that he did, and I mean, I don't even know how many countless hours this person did, or this, to.
I saw that follower list just now. I ran across it.
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I had 4. The max I had, I think, was 4 or 5 followers, and they just followed you. They followed you around, and it got annoying.
Yeah,
it's too many of them.
Too many of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, besides those issues, have either of you two ran into any other issues or anything that was an issue but you ended up fixing?
Yeah, I have one. So this, I'm not quite sure what the date is for this Skyrim Beautification project. I think it was last updated December of 2018 or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't think the person's updated it. Maybe they don't feel like it needs to be updated, but the instructions call for you using Nexus Mod Manager, which was Nexus's manager a while ago, but now it's Vortex. And Vortex is a different beast and a different animal. And so one of the things that I had issues with is, so he's telling you, you need to, overwrite this and overwrite that and all that stuff. Well, Vortex does that for you, kind of. So what Vortex does is it'll tell you, hey, you have a conflict here. Like here's a mod here, here's a mod here, and these have conflicts with each other. You need to resolve those. So you have to resolve those conflicts. So that's you kind of have to know what you're doing, and like I said, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to screw things up. And so that would probably be what I've ran into as far as the difficulty wise, is using Vortex, because Vortex is not Nexus Mod Manager. It's Nexus Mod Manager is now obsolete, and it's now Vortex. So that
what you can. Sorry.
Go ahead, Wolf.
You know what you can do is you can daisy chain the conflicts. So you can take all these that and just auto load this after this after this after this, rather than mess with the load order number.
Right, the auto sort or whatever, which I did implement that too, because he gives you they give you a list that he's like, you have to do this in order for it to work, and it's like, well, freaking Vortex is like, no, I don't want you to put that there, and it'll put it somewhere else. Even if you create your own little rule for that, it'll change it, is what I've found.
Yeah, it does, but you can go in, and this is where I think the people we're seeing, people at least that mod more than I did, or know a little bit more better than I did, is they put that functionality where you can change all that. You can let it do it automatically, or you can tell it, no, this is how I want to load it. This is the order I want to do it. This is what you load. You don't talk to this. When you want to get in depth with Vortex, it's there. It's just there's no documentation on it whatsoever.
Okay. Well, we need to talk about that offline, because I want to do this guy's load order, because that could be why he had the scary horror film beginning thing. It's
Yeah,
because
it's pretty scary.
something, it was not just, it wasn't working quite right. So
Yeah.
Because like I said, I would try to follow him because you have to set these rules in Vortex. Like you have to drag it to this, but sometimes it'll be like, well, no, I don't like that.
Right.
And because it has its algorithm or whatever it is that's built into the program, and so that's quite annoying. But yeah.
One thing I do have to give the guy credit on, he has tons of pictures and documentation on what he's doing.
He does.
It's not just, hey, this is the mod list, this is the order, knock yourself out. Like, he really did spend the time and go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'll give him credit on that. Like, he really took the time to go through his process and documentation on how to get the cleaning done. He has a step-by-step picture. This is what you do, this is what you do, you don't do this.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to give that guy credit. I want to look for him. I wish I found him first when I was starting to mod. It would have been great.
Me too. It could be several different people, actually, that put this together. I'm not sure. But another thing, like what you were saying, he has pictures and stuff, even when you're because some of the mods, it's called a faux mod installer. Some of the mods have that where you have to go in and you have to make these individual choices. And he even has pictures for that. He's like, well, I recommend you choosing this for this installation. And I found that very helpful as well.
There's actually you can download that tool, and if you want to make a mod, you can make that installer if you want.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Very user-friendly.
Oh, yeah. For those who... Wolf, you okay if I spill the beans a little bit? Because you...
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
So for you guys who don't know, Wolf is planning on creating mods here soon for... I know Fallout 4, most definitely.
Yeah, most definitely.
Are you going to do something for New Vegas?
Were you talking about something for Skyrim at one point?
I actually have a half-finished follower for Skyrim, except for some reason her lips won't move.
Oh.
But otherwise, like I got it. I got it done. I got the face. I got all the important parts done except for it's a file called a lip file, believe it or not. That has to generate, and for some reason it's not generating. So, like, the voice is coming out because it's played through audio, because these are not real human beings talking. But the lip file won't generate, so it'll just it'll be like, oh, how you doing? Except for you'll hear sound. And I got so Skyrim and Fallout is really kind of what I'm gonna lean very heavily toward Fallout, just because I played like 400 hours of Fallout 4 and only like 150 hours of Skyrim. When I was playing Skyrim and I found Fallout 4 and I was just like, toss! And but I got I'm gonna post one up here soon for Fallout 4, and I'll try to see if I can fix the problem with Skyrim one. But it's exciting.
That's awesome.
All right. So looks like we have some time. We can go on to the bonus round of mods, I guess.
Honorable
you can call it.
mentions.
The honorable mentions one honorable mention for this list, and the rest are more Fallout 4 related, talking about Fallout 4 mods. So Wolf will let you kick it off with this one, which is the 10 millimeter pistol.
All right, so and again, I want to apologize to everyone who will be offended by my replacing of the 10 millimeter pistol. It's been pretty much the same since day one, since Fallout 1. The 10 millimeter looks the same. This is a brand new 4K. Oh God, I'm getting dizzy. 10K Stall Arms.
You're not even looking at it. We are.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's so nice. It goes in every single game I have, no matter what. This is the first gun you pick up when you're in the vault. It doesn't look like it. It's just you add on the stuff. It's brilliant. It's done really well. It replaces the animation perfectly, and it looks like you're in the correct time period for the rest of the weapons you find in Fallout. And if we ever have time to talk about Fallout 4 and my issues with it, this solves one of the major issues with it, is this pistol right here.
I'd like to have this pistol in real life.
Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
Oh God, it's so nice.
I like the suppressor. I really like the way the suppressor looks. It looks really nice. And it looks like you can see with the you can actually see the bullets in the magazine, which is quite interesting.
It's gorgeous. Even the reload animation is perfect. I mean, it's spot on. One of the best pistols I've seen.
And it's definitely one that I'm going to we're gonna have to.
Yeah,
look
we'll
at
definitely
here
put
soon.
it in our Fallout 4 list.
Now this is one. Like I said, most of my modding came from console side, so that's what I kind of bring to this table. Is that I know it's not as
Extensive.
as extensive as the PC side, because most of the PC mods, or most console mods that we get, are PC mods already. But one Fallout 4 mod that I honestly have to have every single time is the Loving Cait mod. Mainly because it makes her look a lot better. Here, we'll do it before. This is before. And this is the after.
She kind of looks like Triss Marigold from The Witcher 3. That's what it reminds me of when I see her, which is she's pretty in that game as well. So, yeah.
I love Cait. She's one of my. She's actually, besides Dogmeat, she's probably one of the only. Besides Dogmeat and Curie, she's one of the followers that I have with me at all times. And so, after looking at that face that they originally gave her,
do you know that picture? I really like that. I think that's a good picture.
After seeing her original face in vanilla Skyrim, I almost didn't drop her. I almost dropped her as a follower just because of that. Her voice actress is amazing. I just don't know why they chose the way she looked in vanilla. It doesn't make sense.
Bethesda gets lazy.
I was gonna say laziness, and I was gonna find a cute way to go. Oh, lazy.
I mean, as a Bethesda fanboy, and yeah, they all.
Which I am too. I mean, I love Bethesda games.
I understand that they have so much going on too, and all that, but it's also not right for the modders to fix what's broken.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
See, what I've always thought about Bethesda is like they come up with a product, right? They're under
Don't
pressure.
copyright this, Bethesda.
Yeah, please don't. they're under pressure or whatever. They've got a deadline they've got to meet, so they can only provide so much. And I think that they know that the community likes to mod anyway, so they kind of leave some things out, for people to come in and tweak a little bit. But it would be nice to see Bethesda actually take time, on everything, every single detail. Well, yeah, that too. But it'd be nice if we could see that. But then again, if they would do that, then it would be a while before you would get another game. Which, how long has it been since Skyrim? And now Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out soon?
No, Outer Worlds is coming out before 6.
Wait, Outer Worlds?
Or not Outer Worlds, what is it?
Blades. Blades.
No.
The mobile one.
Actually, that just came out, and I've been having
I really want to play that
blast
so
with
bad.
that.
Oh, you've been playing it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I need to get that. Anyways.
Nope, there's been no other game that comes out in between Skyrim and no other game whatsoever that's ever come out. Nope.
Let's not mention that one.
Mm-mm.
We won't talk about that one.
Are we talking about the
number?
Yeah. No, we don't need to talk about that.
The one that's still going badly, even with all the updates?
I love you, Bethesda, but I'm sorry, that bad. It's bad. Sorry.
All I'm going to say, and I think you guys can both agree with me, is it was a cash out on the Fallout name because of how big Fallout 4 got in its time. Wolf is over there just... No, Wolf, I feel you, man.
$80!
Don't tell me you bought it.
Nuka-Cola. You didn't get the Nuka-Cola, did you?
Tricentennial Edition. Pre-order.
Why?
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay, we won't go into this. This will have to be another topic for another day.
Yeah. This is a whole other show.
This could be a whole show, actually. Oh man.
I think that's what we're gonna do in 2 weeks, guys. Come back in 2 weeks, and we'll talk about how bad Bethesda's been lately.
Yeah, I think everybody gets the point.
Yeah, everyone gets the point. So we'll go on to Relentless. I don't have a photo for the next one.
Yeah, this one is, it's quite simple. It's just another honorable mention for Skyrim. As you can tell, I like Skyrim. I haven't played much of Fallout, so I haven't really found something I've fallen in love with yet. So, this one is simply bigger trees. It's a simple mod, obviously, because the title is simple. But anyways, it's just nice. It makes the trees in Skyrim just really big. Like if you think of is it the red oaks? Redwoods in California. Those really tall, beautiful looking trees. It brings those into Skyrim, and it really, brings the immersion and makes it look a lot more realistic. Whereas the other trees are just kind of eh.
It gives age to the place. Like it's been a place that's the land has been there for thousands and millions of years, and
right.
The fauna reflects that.
Yeah, and it should have reflected that. No offense to Bethesda, but it should reflect that at the beginning when the game came out, because it's supposed to be like it's an ancient type of world, and so it should have that type of foliage, I guess, or those type of trees.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So we'll go on quickly and move on to your next one, Wolf, which is the unique player and follower Redux.
Yes. So you were talking about Cait.
Yes.
And how you didn't like her face, and I'm summarizing.
Same with Piper. Piper is the same way. Loving Piper is another good one, but I just don't like Piper to begin with, anyways. So.
See, I'm a Team Piper person. But what this does is, okay, so this is where I spend probably most of my time. All the followers available in the game, you can construct a specific and unique file for them, including face, hair, texture, clothes, body type, whatever you need. And this will allow you to customize all the followers you want to the nth degree. So you can go in, if you want to spend the time, and create your own Cait or your own Piper to look exactly the way you want to do. And this is the structure, the setup to allow you to do it. It also allows you to, has body slide files to allow you to fit custom clothes with them as well. So this goes in. This is the second thing that goes in my Fallout game to set that structure up. It also sets you as a unique player. So, let me give you an example.
I was about to say, please.
So you go into Skyrim, right? And you install a body texture to where you have tattoos, and it comes into all the players have the same tattoos because that's the skin file you've chosen, and it's not unique to you. Everybody has it.
Okay, I see what you're meaning. Like a lot of clothing mods, you can find them on Raiders and stuff like that. Right.
Well, so everybody is your height and build exactly in the game, except for the followers. All the other schlums walking around is like just two body types in the world, a male and a female, and they all run around. Uniques is where you look different than everybody else in the world. You can have your own specific height, weight. When you put on clothes, it looks different than everybody else. And your followers, too, so you can pick and choose. You don't have to do all of them. That would spend a lot of time. But the ones you really are, like you said, you carry Cait around, right? Well, you can do Cait, give her a whole bunch of muscles or make her super jacked up if you want. You know, what I'm saying is you can do this, and then every time that's what she looks like in the game. Instead of when you install CBBE, which is kind of like an overall arching body type, you have completely separate body types for everybody in the game you want.
Okay.
I wonder if somebody's done that for Skyrim. Do you know?
I don't know. The unique one, yes. Unique player, yes. That's where I found it initially.
Okay.
So you can do that for Skyrim. But this is one, it goes to your followers, and this person, or at least this idea, has gone a step further, and this is great. You can uniquely modify you and 2 other followers the entire vanilla set of clothing and armor in the game.
Wow.
So when you pick up a shield, like a chestplate, like an armor piece for when you put it on, your body defaults to whoever the default is. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This way, you have unique body file. When you put on that piece of armor, it's still you underneath the armor. So you can give yourselves like all kinds of tattoos, and when you put on the armor, the tattoos are underneath the armor. If that makes sense.
I like that.
This is why I love this so much.
Is this mod made? Is the creator? Did they create the one for Skyrim as well, or is it someone different?
That I don't know. There's a lot of versions out. This happens to be the best version for the unique players. This is the one. But I don't know.
For
I should probably check that before.
Because this is Fallout 4, right?
Yeah, Fallout 4. Right.
Okay.
But this person grabbed did all the followers. Usually it's just the unique player.
Alright, so then I think we have one last Fallout 4 one, and then we can open the floor to random news if we want to continue going for a few more minutes. I'm going to make it short and sweet. Pretty much any of the Place Anywhere mods for console, PC is another must-have, because I've gotten really tired of trying to place a chair in a corner and it being red even though there's nothing around it, just because you can't, and like I said, short, simple, Place Anywhere mod. It's just one of those kind of must-haves. I say must-haves, but when it comes, I know Relentless isn't gonna get it on his game because he's not a settlement guy.
No, I don't care about the settlement thing.
So
it's cool, but I don't care about that.
But if you're one of those people who like the all-round game, the settlement's okay, you're okay with the settlement mod, or with all the settlement stuff, it is one of those mods that you want. And also, you can do some pretty cool stuff. You can stack chairs on top of each other with it. You can have fun with it, so...
You can make it look like you're actually dealing with a real three-dimensional space.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and not a whatever Bethesda gave us.
It just works.
Now it does. So, now that we're done with that, real quick, while we have the last 20 minutes open to the floor, kind of just mess around with, is there any gaming news or anything that you guys want to talk about?
Yes.
Okay.
Borderlands 3 is out. It's officially announced. I'm so excited. That's what. Remember, I mentioned that there's the five games that the IPs. Borderlands is it. Borderlands is one of them, and Borderlands 1 and 2 have been so great. They're getting better, and just by the commercial, it looks like they've done a fantastic stretch of the story with them. So I'm so excited.
Not to burst your bubble, Wolf. It's not me. It's another Relentless issue. He does not like Borderlands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, me on the other hand, I came in from Borderlands 1. I played all of them, and I will agree with you. They have gone better over time. It's sad that they had to take so much time to get it to where it was, because Borderlands 1 was okay. I didn't see a real replay value out of it when I got done, unfortunately. I tried playing Borderlands 1 3 different times after I finished it, and each time I could not continue. Borderlands 2 was kind of the same way. It got better story, better places, better character development, but it was still that same constant grind. And it got better as the games went and progressed, and you got the pre-sequel and stuff. It got better.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm afraid of with 3 is it's gonna be another. It got better, but it's still this grind, death after death after death after death.
I will have to. I just want to mention. I will have to say that I watched the trailer.
Yeah, I made him watch the trailer.
And the trailer was very well done. It looks very cool, but I probably still won't play it. But go ahead.
And that's no problem. You know, I'll make sure I cry when the cameras are off. But you know, one of the things about Borderlands 1 that I'll admit is that the ending was incredibly disappointing.
It was.
But they actually make fun of that in the beginning of Borderlands 2.
They do.
But and I'm not even a first-person shooter guy, but those games are so intelligently done, and some of the conversations while you're
they are.
You know, yeah, it's a grind, but like the conversations, the jokes going on in the background, and the story, you know, exposition is done so craftily well that you're not sitting there listening to someone go blah 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 blah. You're blowing things apart and wondering about ammo. So that's you know that's a great way to go through exposition while you're still like.
Well, unless you're me playing and you get the exposition done and then you go out and you can't figure out what the hell you're doing. but
you know, again,
it's definitely one of those games. I will, if I don't pick it up, if I don't have my PC by then, I'm going to still get it, and I'll probably play it on Relentless's PC until I get mine.
He's using me.
I'm
definitely going. I definitely will hit you up whenever it comes out, and we will play.
Yeah, it's and in fact, one of my other 5 was drawn into the same wheelhouse. Homeworld. Gearbox was able to remaster that game.
Can I say one thing about Gearbox real quick before we continue?
That's okay.
Did you watch the PAX presentation that they just did for?
Yeah, the magic trick?
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about the magic. That part was okay. He was kind of cringy. I'm talking about all the technical difficulties they had as well with that.
Yeah, I saw that. But you know what? I was just like,
difficulties happen.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Just here's my caps. You know, shut up and take my caps. Just give me the trailer. That's what I want to see. But yeah, I mean, again, you know, I think that's a great thing about gaming and stuff like that, and meeting other gamers. Is like, you know, we all like Skyrim, we all play a Fallout 4, but we by far don't have the same likes and dislikes, and you know, we got games on the peripheral, like again, Borderlands, you know. As long as I've been in forums where you can't have an intelligent conversation with people. You're like, oh, I don't like that game. Like, yeah. So,
right.
You know, but that's a great, you know, discussing, hey, I like this about the game. Oh, do you notice that this game sucks because of this? Oh, yeah, I never noticed that. But, you know, you got perfectly valid points. Like, it's a grindy game. But you know what? It's so beautiful to look at. I don't mind the grind. That's probably one of the only times you'll ever say me, catch me saying I don't like the grind. I don't mind the grind. So.
Right. I think another good one would be, it's slipping my mind right now, but it's CD Projekt Red's the new one coming.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077.
Let's not get me and Wolf on that.
I'm
it looks
really
like we're
excited about that game. It looks really cool. I remember I was sitting down, we weren't sitting next to each other, but we watched the trailer together, me, him, and another friend of ours, and I was quite impressed.
No, it wasn't even the trailer. It was the
first
30
gameplay.
minutes gameplay.
Yeah, first 30 minutes gameplay, and it looked really, really cool. So I'm really excited about that. I don't know if that's really upcoming news, but
the only thing I gotta say about that is something that me and Relentless have touched on outside of all this stuff is the one thing I'm really afraid of is that this is gonna be another not hyped, but
No Man's Sky.
No, another Anthem. We'll say another Anthem with the graphic wise, or even worse, Watch Dogs. If we go back that far to the Watch Dogs trailer, how great it looked, and then when the game came out, it was all.
Can I rant about Anthem a little bit?
We
can here in just a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't. Are you done about the CD Projekt Red?
Go ahead.
No, I can't. That's part of the reason I rebuilt for my computer is to play Cyberpunk. And when I first saw it and someone first told me the concept, I'm like, oh god, it's so dumb. Like, I'm never gonna dig that. Then I saw the 40, and then the more and more about how huge this game is going to be. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's like, if you ever are stopping to think, like, what is Wolf doing? Oh, he's playing Cyberpunk 2077 is what he's doing.
We'll all be playing it. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a chance. I'll give it a chance, but I really hope that they don't hype it up so much, and then it's a real big disappointment.
Well,
but The Witcher 3, I mean, come on.
I was about to say,
That's an amazing game.
look at who's behind it.
Yeah,
It's
so
a
I think we
project
will be
head.
disappointed.
Yeah.
They've, especially with Witcher 3, they put, even in all the DLC, they put all their love into that game that they could.
And that game, what's so amazing about that game is you don't need mods for that game. When I first played that game, well, unless you want to cheat like you do, but no, like the only thing I did was an EMB and a reshade. That was it.
Yeah.
Other than that game is amazing. It
Yeah.
does not need any mods or anything. I loved the experience I had with that game. So
If CD Projekt Red is smart, and they seem to be, they can watch all the failures go before them, which you're probably going to talk about one here shortly.
We're about to.
And they can see all the mistakes, and all a smart company has to do is just not do those. But they seem to just keep on, like, hey, that guy just fell off a cliff. That's stupid. Hey, look, there's a cliff.
yeah, let's do it.
Right. But CD Projekt Red seems to be very well aware of themselves and how they can mess it up, and like the microtransactions and all the kind of other things. Like, they're very well aware.
Oh, and they've already came out and said no microtransactions at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They address that. Like, we're not going to do that. They also said, I'll point this out,
DMR free too, right?
Yeah, DMR free, because they also own GOG.com. And you can buy those games. But they also said there's going to be a second AAA game coming out from them right after Cyberpunk 2077, like within a year. So they're working on it right now.
Huh. That one I didn't know.
Is that why there's a little bit of a like they haven't released the date for 2077? Because they're
they
working
admit
on that
they said they're like, someone was questioning them. It's like, hey, maybe you got this wrong. Maybe, like, nope, there's a brand new AAA title coming out from them, and they didn't specify. It's not a Witcher.
All I'm gonna say
it's
is
not a Witcher. Or they said it wasn't.
Not a Witcher. So they're messing around with some sort of new IP. Wouldn't that be? Anyways,
I wonder if this is, and if that's the case, if it is a new IP, I'm hoping that it's an IP that they create rather than something that they've got from a book or board game. Because Cyberpunk 2077 is from an old Dungeons and Dragons style run, and of course Witcher is based off the book series,
which is a good series.
Yeah.
So as much as I love their work with all this stuff and all that, I do want to see them grow something from themselves and not take something from somewhere else either.
So, original creation.
As hard as that is. So let's talk about
Anthem.
We brought it up, Anthem.
Okay, so I have not played Anthem. I've talked to some people that I have some console buddies who have played it. They said it was really good. But the thing that really turned me off with it is, and with a lot of games, is it's kind of like when the whole false advertisement. You go to a restaurant, you look at the menu, you see a picture of the food that you want, you're like, oh, that looks really good. You order it, it comes out, and it's not what the picture looks like, right? We all know that happens, but
yeah.
The thing I have a problem with Anthem is, like, go on YouTube. You can go on YouTube, and this guy does this video where he shows you the E3 trailer, and then he shows you what it looks like now, like the retail version. And they just took out so much stuff that it just makes the game look like, I don't know, I can't even describe what it just looks like crap.
There's assets missing. There's the E3 trailer is a quest mod that is not even in the game anymore.
And like the whole entrance into the bazaar, that beautiful entrance into the bazaar when you walk in there, they took that out too. I mean, it's like, why would you do that?
Half the NPCs are gone. Half the assets of the bazaar are gone.
The big mechanical, or not mechanical, whatever that monster thing.
No, it was mechanical.
Oh, mechanical. That's walking across is just still now. It's like, what? You can't have that moving now? You lazy? I don't get that. That really turns me off. I don't like it.
And I wonder at what point. Because we're talking about some mess ups. We're talking about Bethesda mess up. We're talking about EA and BioWare and all those kind of other companies.
At what point did they take all this stuff out?
Well, I was wondering at what point
whose decision was it to make them take it out?
Well, and then at what point do they... That
person needs to be fired. I'm sorry. This is crazy.
Do they crumble? Right? Because we've seen companies like Kodak and in our lifetimes, and that destroy themselves.
Rare.
And they're like, we're two huge monster companies, and we can't fail. Ha ha. One day they're gonna mess up so bad that they can't come back, and they'll be like, hey, remember when that thing Bethesda had? Bethesda, I didn't remember. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'll be a meme. That's what it'll be. It'll be a meme.
Yeah.
And that's all they'll be.
And then whoever made the decisions, somehow needs to be held like, hey, look, this is what you did.
Held accountable for the failure.
Yeah. I'm a nerd and I have money and I like to spend it on things you want to give me. Just give me good things to spend it on.
That's the thing. It's like it's all about making money, right? So wouldn't you want to make a good product? Because if you make a good product, you're guaranteed that more people are going to consume it, correct? So that's what I don't understand with these big companies. It's like, okay, it's about the bottom line. That's fine. But give me a good product that's worth spending money for.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just makes perfect sense.
Now, on the other hand, I'm going to go back to Gearbox here and something that they just announced. Something that we just had Handsome Jack Collection come out a couple years ago, and now they're re-releasing it. Not only that, but they're re-releasing 1 and 2. They're re-releasing all of them for new gen.
Recycling.
And
I hate that. That annoys
I don't
me.
mind the recycling if it's like I could see them recycling 1 and 2 at this point because it hasn't been on the new gen. But Handsome Collection, I think there was already 1 out for the new gen, and they're re-releasing it with higher graphics now.
Yeah, but
I don't.
It's kind of like I love Skyrim because obviously we were talking about that, but the same thing with Skyrim. I mean, Skyrim, you've got VR, you've got the Legendary Edition, you've got Special Edition, you've got the Switch, you've got all these different versions.
I have all but the Switch version, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that, but I mean, I guess for me personally, recycling, I hate when companies recycle stuff. It just unless it's a really good game, I don't think you should recycle.
Now I think I have a counterpoint to that.
What?
Spyro and Crash Bandicoot.
Okay, I could see that.
Older games, I can see them recycling because it's that nostalgia factor. People want those.
Yeah.
Now, a game that just came out 3-4 years ago, and we're recycling it again.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's wait. Let's wait like 10 years.
Yeah. But also, there's the fact that you don't have to buy them either.
True.
I know they do it, but the problem is people are like, oh, I hate that they did that. Give me 5. But it's the same. We could spend shows about this and all this kind of stuff, but there's also the reboot factor now in Hollywood too, right? Where they so again we're living
Disney.
We have
in particular.
Yeah, we have the
Star Wars.
We have the ability to kind of to 20 years from now, we'll be able to look back at all this in this conversation we're having. If we only knew the details, what was going on really at the time, and now, and no one knows who EA is, or something like that, or it's again, like I said, it's one of those things where you make me a good game with a good story and some decent graphics, I will give you my cash. You you try to trick me, and I'll be very angry, and I'll type very hard and use lots of exclamation points. But yeah, there's good games. There's going to be a lot of good games coming out, and I'm going to play those. I'm not going to play the bad games.
Right.
And it's as simple as that, I guess. And I'm going to mod the crap out of them. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
No, I think that's it. I think I think the news portion for today is done. We're
our rants are.
We got our rants. We've vented.
We've vented for now.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Time's up. So I think we did a good one today, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great, fantastic.
Good show.
Thanks for coming, Wolf. Thanks for everyone who did show
great.
up, and for YouTube, thanks for all of you who do end up watching and all that.
Appreciate it, guys.
It was great having you guys, and Wolf, great having you. I will probably have you back here actually in the next one too, if we can get it.
Yeah, great. I'm more than happy to come. More than happy to join.
I'll talk to you behind the scenes about some other things that may be popping up too that I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But
it was good to talk to you guys. I mean, I love.
Yeah, it was a good conversation. So.
I
love modding. Just sums up today's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
There we go.
Yeah, pretty much. And now I have to. Once we're done with this, now I have a whole bunch of more mods I have to work on. So. Yeah. Anyways.
I'm still organizing mine. My God.
Yeah, I need to help Wolf out with some of his issues.
All right, so we'll go do that now. Everyone, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.